Okay, so we've heard you loud and clear in the comments. This is the head-to-head comparison that so many of you wanted to see. And we are going to be doing a head-to-head accuracy test with the Rapsodo MLM2PRO and the Swing Caddie SC4. Both of these are brand new personal launch monitors that hit the market this year, and both of them have been very hot for good reason. They both have a lot of features that we want to dive into that make them both very appealing. But if you are really wanting to make sure that you've got the most accurate unit, well, let's find out what one that is. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to run these through two tests. We're going to be doing a full indoor environment test. Then we're going to take the other major use case, which is take it out on the range. There we're going to be using true range balls, and we're going to compare them. Now, for our control, we're going to be using the Foresight GC3, which is a pro-grade optical launch monitor. This thing retails at like $7,000 to $8,000. Like I said, true pro grade, and we're going to use that to see how accurate these, what we would call personal or consumer grade launch monitors are. Now, before we do that, let's just quickly run through and bring you up to speed on some of the features of each, starting with the Swing Caddie SC4. So this is a radar unit, price Mike $550, okay. $549. And I think that's why it's been so popular this year, because it's a great price. I mean, a lot of us are spending that much on a driver.
Right.
The other thing that I like is that all of the numbers can be displayed right here on the screen as well. So if I pop that on, you'll kind of see in a second how the numbers pop right up. And that's great, because for those of you who don't want to use a phone, you've got the numbers here. What this does not have is any built-in cameras. We'll talk really quickly about the Rapsodo cameras in just a second, but there is an option to record your swing.
Okay.
In order to do it though, there you will need the app. It's going to use the camera on your phone or tablet to record your swing. So there you'll be able to have it. And as far as what information it provides, we'll pop up here on the screen direct comparison for both units of everything as far as metrics. Again, here you get all of your metrics. There's no additional fee. Keep note when we talk about the Rapsodo in just a second, there are a few of those metrics that do require a premium subscription to unlock. So, in a nutshell, radar-based unit, $549, and there's even a little remote here, which actually goes really easy onto the back with a magnet, and you can use this to change your club and do different things. There's one thing though that concerns me just a bit with it.
What's that?
We talked about the different metrics that each one has. The Swing Caddie SC4 does not have the all-important spin axis.
Okay.
Okay, now we've done a lot of videos here. We talked about spin axis before, but in a nutshell, effectively spin axis measures the curve of the ball. So what you will get with the Swing Caddie SC4 is launch angle and launch direction. So that's the initial launch conditions of the ball. However, as we know, part of ball flight is that spin axis and the curvature. Draw, fade, slice, whatever it may be. If you are using this as a launch monitor, or I should say as a simulator, just know that you may not get an accurate representation of your curve without spin axis. That said, running really quickly through the Rapsodo, Rapsodo is, the MLM2PRO is a combination of radar and dual camera system. There are two cameras built in. One is your impact vision, the other is your shot vision. Effectively, impact vision is a high frame rate, slow motion, close-up view of the ball at impact, and your shot vision is what is filming you and as you're taking the shot. There's an additional third camera similar to what we saw with the SC4. Once you link your mobile device, you can also use the camera on your mobile device. So you get a total of 3 camera views. So a lot more camera options here with the Rapsodo. One other thing, I'm gonna show you this when we get out and do the tests. One very smart thing that the Rapsodo does is that it uses the camera system to give you a visual tool to align your launch monitor. A lot of times the accuracy of these things really comes down to how well it's aligned. With the Swing Caddie SC4, what you just get is this red dash towards the top. There's a little indicator, and you want to best align it using that. Reminds me, Mike, of the Garmin R10.
Yeah, right.
Very similar. And over time, people have developed all types of extra devices to get their Garmin R10 aligned. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some similarities with this, but what I like is Rapsodo uses the camera. You're pretty much positive you're aligned using that. There's a little bit of second guessing when it comes to this, but again, it comes down to accuracy. One last thing I want to mention. When it comes to those all-important spin numbers, spin and spin axis, you do get those numbers with the Rapsodo MLM2PRO. However, in order to get those numbers, you need to use the Rapsodo RPT ball that comes with the system.
Yep.
So what you will see when we take this outdoors and test it on the range is you will not get any spin numbers. So we are going to measure and log all of the metrics that we do get and compare those against the Foresight for accuracy, but spin won't be one of them. What I am interested to see is what spin numbers, if any, we get out of the SC4. So let's start with our indoor test.
We'll start indoor, then go outside.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll swap. I'll take some swings, you take some swings.
Perfect.
You guys know how we do our tests. We're gonna take 3 shots each with a wedge, a 7-iron, and a driver. We're gonna measure them against the Foresight. Let's show you how we get everything set up, and then we'll meet right back here and break out all the numbers. All right, so let me quickly take you through the setup for this indoor test. If you've seen our test before, this is gonna look pretty familiar to you. We've got the Swing Caddie set up behind us. We've elevated it just a bit so that it's in line with the mat, and we've aligned it using that red line on top. And then we've got the GC3 here all set up and aligned as well. I am going to use the Titleist RCT ball here. I'm not 100% certain yet if the Swing Caddie gets any added benefit out of the RCT ball, but we figure let's give it its best shot anyway. Let's use it. It does have that reflective quality inside. Otherwise, it just acts like a regular ball. We're gonna take all the numbers that we get and we're gonna log them, and then we're gonna show you them all at the very end. And like I said, after this, we'll do an outdoor test as well. We're gonna test everything. All right, first wedge shot. So I got on my carry, I got 92.6 on the SC4, and I got 98.1 on the Foresight. Did not get a spin number. You will have to just put a line through that.
Okay.
We got, just for reference, from the Foresight, I got 8,900 spin, which is what I would be looking for with this wedge. This did not detect a spin. So we'll see if that's a common thread. Launch angle, I got 45 degrees on the Swing Caddie to 32.4. Now 45 is aggressive. I don't launch my wedges at that. So we'll see again if that continues. So we're gonna fly through this. We're gonna hit 3 shots with each. And like I said, at the end, we're gonna give you all the numbers. So initially, a little concerned that we ended up picking up no spin at all. Just did not get any spin numbers out of wedges. Wedges spin the most. Maybe it's the toughest for it to pick up. Let's move on to the 7-iron. Let's see if we get some spin numbers and how accurate it is. Good news is we got a spin number.
Okay.
Spin, interesting here. 6,942 on the Swing Caddie to 5,000 on the Foresight. Just a little bit of a background. I just literally got fit for these irons, and on TrackMan, just as a reference point, I was usually between 5,000 and 6,000 spin on my 7-iron. 7,000 spin for me is a bit high. I doubt I'm spinning it that high, but we'll keep getting the numbers. Launch angle, much better though, much, much better. 21.9 on the Swing Caddie to 22.6 here. So the 7-iron does seem a little bit more accurate, save for maybe that spin and a little bit of that carry. 2 more with these. 163.8 to 165 on the Foresight. Much, much better carry distance. Spin again though, this is really, I have to wonder if it's guessing where a 7-iron should be, because it put me at 72.40 on the spin. My spin on the Foresight, 48.24.
Yeah.
Remember guys, like we said, we're gonna give you all the numbers at the end. You can screenshot them, everything. So stay tuned for that. Let's tee up a driver and now see what we get. I'm interested to see if it picks up spin.
Yeah, same.
243 carry on the GC quad. 252.2 carry on the Swing Caddie.
Okay.
Then we did get spin. We got a spin number. And it looks a little better than what we saw with the 7-iron. So I got 3,038 spin over here. Over here we got 2525. Ball speed, 144 Swing Caddie to 143 Foresight. Great ball speed number. We got spin pretty good. 2681 on the Swing Caddie to 2149. Again, I'm not going to give a spin axis number because we don't get spin axis with this. We got one more driver swing, and then we're going to move on to the Rapsodo. 247.9 Swing Caddie carry, 241 Foresight carry. So concerning numbers with the wedge, a little bit with the 7-iron, promising numbers with the driver.
Why no spin with the wedge though?
I just think it spun so much and launched so much higher.
Won't get it.
Maybe it was outside its radar window. Who knows? But
I wonder if it picks it up outdoors.
yeah, we gave it 3 chances. So we'll see outdoors. Let's get everything reset now with the Rapsodo MLM2PRO, and we're going to run through the exact same test. Okay, so same club, same test. Difference here, we're going to be using the Rapsodo RPT ball, which is what is required indoors. It does come with these balls if you buy your MLM2PRO. It is required if you want to get spin and things like that. So we want to get all of our numbers, but we've got everything set up, wedge in hand. Let's run through the test.
Let's do it.
All right, Mike, so here's what we got. 100 on the carry. This is my 100 club. It doesn't surprise me there. That's on the Rapsodo. And the Foresight has me at 96.3. Spin 8144, 8,144 to 8424. Great spin number. If you've seen some of our other videos, we have extensively tested this, so this doesn't surprise me that we're getting great spin numbers here.
Spin axis?
Spin axis was minus 4.1 on the Rapsodo to minus 4.0 on the Foresight. So spin axis, dead on. All right, so like I said, stay tuned. We're going to give you all the numbers in a second. We just want to make sure we get through this test. So that's the wedge. I'm going to put this now on 7-iron, and we are going to go into our 7-iron and see how that performs. Okay, caught that one just a tad heavy, but we got numbers here. Carry distance, much better. Spot on better. 157 to 157. So for 7-iron, we got the exact same carry. Spin. 4265 on the Rapsodo, 4274 on the Foresight. I mean, if anything, that also proves right there, those numbers, those 7-iron spin numbers for the Swing Caddie felt high at the 7,000. This is what I'm more used to seeing. Caught that a little heavy, lost a little spin. 5,000 spin with my 7-iron is usually where I'm at, 5, 6 on the better shots.
All right, shot 2 here with the 7-iron.
So there, good example. I caught it much more flush, not fat. Spin jumped up.
Yep.
All right. Still, not touching 7,000 on my spin, but it jumped up. So carry 159 to 159.
2 in a row.
2 in a row. Spin.
Yep.
6091 to 6199. Those numbers for me are pretty much about as good as it gets. Carry distance on the MLM2PRO, 161.
Is it 161 on the GC?
Yep.
Wow.
So we got one more set here. We're going to hit driver. After that, we're going to take this exact same test and move it outside. All right, for driver. So we got 234 carry on the Rapsodo to 240 carry. Again, we haven't missed a spin number yet. We are getting spin every time. I got 2859 on the Rapsodo to 2974.
Okay.
And my T is in the roof somewhere.
That went up and never came down.
That never came back. That T never came back. That T did not come back. 245 carry on the Rapsodo.
Yep.
247 carry on the Foresight.
Okay.
Ball speed 148 to 148. Spin. Wow, spin's really good. 2793 to 2799.
Wow.
So now we take this exact test and we take it outdoors. So let's head over to the range. We'll meet you over there. All right, so now we're here on the range for the range test. Let me quickly take you through the setup, which should look very familiar, just like our indoor test. So we've got the Foresight GC3 set up there. We've got Swing Caddie up first. It's set up just behind Mike here. We've put them both on little platforms to level them out with the hitting mat. I'm going to be recording everything on the laptop here, and we're going to show you all the numbers at the end. So right now, we'll just show you guys any numbers that stand out immediately, but stay tuned. Like we said, we will dig through every number afterwards and show them all on screen so you guys can pause it if you like and review the numbers for yourself. But first, let's hit some shots. Mike's got a wedge up first.
All right, we'll start with the Sky Caddy here. Carry 106.
Okay, and then I need the information on the GC.
Okay, so carry 113.
So interestingly, we did not get a spin number from the Swing Caddie. I thought we might. Let's keep going and see if it picks it up on any. We knew we weren't going to get spin axis. We talked about that. And initially what stands out is the carry distance being some trouble again. We'll show you more numbers. Let's get a couple more shots in because we want averages. And did we get a spin?
No spin.
No spin. All right.
Okay, looks like we're not going to get spin out here.
I want to show you this real quick because I think the big thing that's standing out for us is the carry distance. So carry distance on the Foresight, as you can see, is that 119. And then if we look over here on the Swing Caddie, we're getting 110. So 9 yards difference in carry. That's kind of like what we've been seeing. Let's get the numbers on this one and then we'll move up to the 7-iron.
Okay.
I want to look at that initial carry reading because that's been the biggest issue. Swing Caddie's got it at 168.2.
158. Seems to be 10 off.
About 10. But it's not necessarily always 10 long. So I mean, for me, I could say if it was always 10 long,
right, you could play games in your head.
I could just say, okay,
and,
it's just always, but on the wedge shot, you were in the last wedge shot, the Swing Caddie was 9 yards shorter in carry distance.
And here it's 10 yards
and now
longer.
It's 10 yards longer. So, all right, let's keep getting our numbers.
20.
Oh, wait, we got spin.
We got spin.
We got spin. So we got a spin number. So it must have just been that it was having trouble reading those wedges and we didn't get a spin number.
That's
we got one now. On the Swing Caddie, I got 7,643. What did we get on the GC quad for spin?
6574.
6574. So it's off by about 1,100 RPM there.
All right, so the carry on the Swing Caddie, 175.9.
And what was the carry on the GC quad? Just
174 even.
Whoa, not bad there. Only 1 yard.
Tightened up for a minute there.
1 yard distance on that one.
Okay, so that was a clear pull left.
Clear left, yep.
Spin rate, it did 79.32. The spin number on the GC quad is gonna really blow your mind, but here we go.
What was the spin?
34.24. It was half.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know you fatted it. You caught it fat behind it. That's why the ball speed went down, and you're not gonna expect a lot of spin on that. Now we got driver with the Swing Caddie. Okay, we are ready with driver. Only difference we've made, because we're working with, unfortunately, this constrained area and these mats, is we've moved both launch monitors back so that it's in line now with the T that's on this mat, and both have been realigned the same way using the alignment stick right at that tree that we see dead center out there. Mike's got driver. Let's see what we get. Let's see what kind of numbers. All right, swing. Let's do the carry first. Swing Caddie, what'd you get for carry?
272.
272.6. And what'd we get on the GC?
You're making me look good.
What did you get on the GC quad? I just want to see.
242.
242. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I got all of that.
I was about to say 276 is aggressive.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind doing me a favor? I noticed you got a rangefinder. Do you mind just firing the black tarp at the end of the range for us?
276?
That makes sense.
That sounds right. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, so that did not pass the eyeball test.
No.
So we had to just do a quick check on it. So the gentleman on the range here had a rangefinder. We fired it. The blue stake you see out there, the last stake, is 216. And I knew this was a shorter range. The end of the range, the tarp, we fired the stick holding the tarp up, is 276.
Right.
Now this ball clearly stayed in the range, and the Swing Caddie has it at 272.
Carry, which means according to this, it landed like 4 yards before that thing went out.
And it would have bounced into the thing.
Right.
Whereas the GC had us at
242, which made sense because there was about 30 yards of run out.
Right. So eyeball test, we had to check that one. But let's get the rest of the numbers and we'll keep running through it.
Oh, clear slice.
High floater.
High floating slice.
275.
Oh, in my
this
dreams.
This thing's your best friend.
In my dreams.
275.4. What did I get a ball speed on that?
The total on that was 293.
Isn't
that crazy?
293 total.
Total.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, if you want to feel good, then that's a feel good. Okay, one more driver swing with the Swing Caddie, and then we'll move on to the Rapsodo. Jeez, you just keep going up over here.
I know. 285.9.
285.9. How long did GC quad carry?
249.
So before we pack that away, initial thoughts, like I said, we will break into this, but the launch angle there was spot on. The ball speed was spot on. The carry distance was in another. It was a different ballpark.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. Okay, so now we're gonna set up our MLM2PRO test. Everything is realigned here, and like I said before, one thing I do like with the Rapsodo is you can use the camera system to get aligned. It's a good visual. So we've got wedge, same thing, wedge, 7-iron, driver. Let's kick it off. Okay, carry distance, I got 119 on the MLM2PRO. What'd you get on the GC?
116.
116. Okay, remember we're not getting spin rates out of the Rapsodo. Launch angle, I got 34.1.
35.2. All right, just one shot though.
One shot, let's keep going. So I got 124 carry.
Yeah, I'm at 123. Okay, that one I sent a little left.
You could tell that's pulled left with a little bit of draw. All right, I got a 131 carry.
132 here. Wow, the wedges were much tighter.
Yep.
That's clear.
So as much as I would love to see spin for wedges, no doubt about it. For range balls, I'm happy with what we see so far. Let's move on to the 7-iron now.
Yep. Okay, pulled that one left.
Yeah, hard pull.
Hard pull, so.
Which is gonna affect the carry.
Definitely.
We wanna see if it reads all the shots, not just good ones. Good shot there.
Yeah, that was dead straight.
All right, I got 169 to your what?
I'm at 166 carry.
Okay, one more with the 7-iron.
Okay, and that one I pushed right. It wasn't really a slice, more a push.
We're testing this thing in every direction.
Left, right, middle, yeah.
We're giving it the full test.
I wish I could say I'm doing that on purpose for
Left,
you guys.
right, and middle for you guys. Now driver, again, it's one of the hardest ones for it to read.
Yeah.
Driver, let's get everything realigned to the tee, and then we're gonna do driver. All right, first drive. I got 212 here. You lost a little distance because there's a little bit of a slice.
Yeah,
What'd
I sliced
you get for the
Lost a lot. Carry was 216.
216 there, okay.
Launched that high.
High one, high one.
That was a high pop.
Okay. All right, obviously you lost distance there because it popped up, but let's see what you got. I got, on the MLM, I got 204.
I got 201. Little fader there.
Yep.
It's gonna take some off, but let's see. All right, what did you get there?
So I got 228 and a 152 ball speed.
234 and a 152.
All right, so some good numbers here. Like I said, let's get back into the studio and we're gonna really start to dive into these and really tell you what we see here. Okay, Mike, we got all the data in front of us.
Yes.
I mean, we had some initial feedback when we were out there. There were some things that we thought were really spot on.
Yep.
Other things that concerned us being a little bit off. So let's kind of like dive into this. First, the indoor test. Here across the board, we saw better numbers for wedge with the Rapsodo MLM2PRO. With the wedge, we saw on average the carry distance indoors was off by about 7 yards with the SC4 compared to the MLM2PRO, which was off by just over 3 yards. Ball speed, both of them, really quite good, within 1 mile an hour. Spin, here's something that we found very interesting. We could not get spin numbers out of the SC4 indoors. We had it the right distance and measured it out. We tried everything. We could not get spin there. On the other side of it, the Rapsodo MLM2PRO performed excellently, was within 200 RPM of spin, and we're talking about in the 8,000 and 9,000 RPM range, so that was pretty good. The launch angle, I knew right away something was wrong with the SC4 when I was getting 45, 44 degrees.
Yeah.
I don't launch my wedges at that, and most people don't. So we were off by about 10 degrees on your launch angle indoors with the SC4 compared to just under 3 degrees with the MLM2PRO. And then launch direction, about 3 degrees off on average with the SC4 versus the MLM2PRO. So if you're working on wedges indoors, the clear winner is Rapsodo. Where we saw a little bit of improvement though was with the 7-iron indoors.
Right.
And we'll talk about the outdoor test in a second too, because I saw some improvement there. But for the carry distances indoors, the SC4 was within 4 yards.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good on shots that are going 167, 170 yards. Still did not beat the MLM2PRO, which remarkably was exactly the same numbers as the much more expensive
Dead even, all three.
GC3.
Yeah.
Dead even for every shot. Ball speed though was also good with both, within 2 miles an hour. Spin though, another red flag for me. So ultimately it was about 2,000 off in measurement of spin. Versus, again, remarkably, MLM2PRO was within 63 RPM. I mean, that's less than 1% difference versus the GC3. We do not get spin axis with the SC4, remember that. We did get a spin axis with the Rapsodo MLM2PRO, and it was within 1.5 degrees there. Pretty good on the launch angle and launch direction for both. Both were within 2 degrees.
Yeah.
So again, it's this hard thing to balance of like, we're getting some really good numbers from the SC4, but we're also getting some not so good numbers. 2,000 spin is concerning.
Yeah.
Whereas the Rapsodo, we're getting pretty consistent numbers across the board. Driver, last thing, indoors. Carry distance was really good with the SC4 indoors.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Within 5 yards.
Yeah, not bad.
What you're gonna see is something totally different when we get to our outdoor numbers.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder why. Just not sure, because it doesn't use a special ball indoors or anything, but the indoor numbers on the driver for the SC4 within 5 yards. MLM2's got it beat within 2 yards. Ball speed, both of them within 1 mile an hour. Pretty darn good there. Spin rate on driver, not terrible with the SC4.
Yeah, not too bad.
Within 300 RPM difference. Nothing quite like with the Rapsodo we got. Again, using the RPT ball is just so key. It uses that high-speed camera to measure those dots moving in space. That's how you end up within 50 RPM of a GC3.
No doubt, yep.
And again, launch angle, launch direction, SC4 eked out the MLM2PRO there just by a little bit. We're talking about within 2 degrees on launch angle. So, moving on to your swings.
Yes.
Taking us through outdoors. For wedges, again here, the MLM2PRO just kind of beat the SC4 across the board. The SC4 was off by, on average, 11.7 yards with wedges.
Yeah, that's tough.
That worries me. Like, if I'm a person who's working on my wedge game and knowing 11 yards could be missing the entire green. We're not talking 11 feet. So if I want to get my wedge distances dialed in, I don't know that I feel secure in relying on those numbers. Ball speed within, MLM2PRO wins, but within 3 miles an hour.
Yeah,
not too bad there. Interesting though, like I said earlier, we did not get spin. We could not, for the life of us, get this thing to give us spin numbers with our wedges.
I know.
Indoors or outdoors. So we got no spin there, and spin axis is not built in. Remember, with the Rapsodo, we don't get spin without that ball. It's not even shown, and nor do they claim that you're going to get spin. So for wedges, no spin with either device. Launch angle and launch direction, the Rapsodo was a little bit better on both of those categories. Still not terrible. Moving up to the 7-iron for here. Again, I think 7-iron and mid-irons is where this SC4
started to improve outdoors
starts
with this.
to shine. I think where it struggles is in wedges, drivers, the biggest and smallest clubs in the bag. But here we were within about 5 yards in carry distance as compared to the Foresight with the SC4. We were within 3 yards with the Rapsodo. Ball speed, you can almost call it a tie, within a half of a mile an hour. But spin again, just like we kind of saw with indoors. It was pumping out spin number after spin number in the 7,000 range.
Look at my last iron shot.
That last iron shot.
Right.
You hit it fat. Definitely, it would have shaved a lot of spin off of it. We saw the ball speed was much down. The GC3 measured it just over 3,400 RPM. And we got our highest spin rate with the SC4 at 79.32. What this resulted in is an overall spin difference on average of almost 2,500 RPM with a 7-iron. Now, again, I don't know how much spin matters to you. I certainly wouldn't be fitting clubs with this.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely not.
Launch angle, though, for the 7-iron was better with the Rapsodo, for across the board launch angle and launch direction. Last thing here, let's look at driver. Every drive was over 270 yards. You had one at 285. We're like, we know this range. The range isn't even that far compared to where they're landing. We even had somebody with a rangefinder help us just fire the back of this range.
Yeah.
The back of the range was 276. So eyeball test, the third drive stayed in the range. It didn't go over the fence. And it measured it as though it would have carried 10 yards over the fence.
Right.
So we saw a difference with driver of 44 yards on average with the SC4. Why? Why was driver more accurate indoors with the SC4?
I don't know.
Versus
I just
outdoors?
don't know why it didn't pick it up.
I can't quite get that, but let's look down the line at the other numbers. Ball speed was so good with the SC4. Rapsodo was a hair better, but SC4 ball speed was so good. There's something in this numbers that I can't quite tell why the carry distance was so far off. I can only hope that maybe Swing Caddie fixes something in their algorithm that's outdoor driver that might be causing this. Spin rate off by about 1,300. No spin, again, as you know, with the Rapsodo. And then the launch angle and launch direction. They were pretty darn good with the SC4. The launch angle was better with the MLM2PRO. Again, I'm like a broken record. Pretty much everything was better with the MLM2PRO. But here again, the whole point of this video was to answer your question, which you guys, so many of you asked for in the comments, was to do this head-to-head test to see which is more accurate. We did the test indoors. We did the test outdoors. Let us know what you guys think of the numbers. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.